Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a king and his beloved queen. They had 11 sons, each brave and bright as the morning sun, and one sweet daughter named Eliza. They all lived happily in their grand castle, surrounded by lush gardens and sparkling fountains. But one gloomy day, the queen fell ill, and despite all efforts, she left this world, leaving a sorrow-filled king and 12 motherless children. In time, the king married again, but this new queen was as cold as ice and as cunning as a fox. She couldn't bear the love the king had for his children, and she resented their cheerful presence in the castle. One cloudy day, when the king was away on royal business, the wicked queen carried out her nasty plan. With a wave of her magic wand, she transformed the 11 princes into wild swans. They flew away from the castle, leaving a trail of teardrops that fell like rain. Only Eliza was spared. The queen had another plan for her. She smeared Eliza's face with mud and tangled her beautiful hair, making the sweet girl unrecognizable. When the king returned and couldn't find his sons, the queen lied, saying they had gone on an adventure. When he saw Eliza, he didn't recognize his own daughter and believed the queen when she claimed Eliza was just a poor maid. Eliza, heartbroken yet courageous, decided to rescue her brothers. One night, when the stars were shining brightly in the sky, she ran away from the castle. She journeyed through dense forests, climbed steep mountains, and crossed swift rivers. One beautiful morning, she found herself by a sparkling lake and saw her brothers. They were swans now, with magnificent white feathers. At dawn and dusk, they could become humans for a short while. Overjoyed to see her, they shared the queen's curse: they must remain swans until someone makes them shirts from the stinging nettles growing in the graveyard, without uttering a word throughout the task. Eliza, with love for her brothers fueling her heart, accepted this challenging task. She made her home near the graveyard and worked tirelessly. Day and night, she picked nettles, her hands bleeding from their sting. She spun the fibers into thread and wove the thread into fabric. Word of her efforts reached a young king who ruled a nearby kingdom. Intrigued, he visited her and was captivated by her love and dedication. He offered her comfort in his castle, to which she agreed, continuing her painful task in silence. Soon, the king fell deeply in love with Eliza and asked her to be his queen. However, the archbishop was suspicious of her, thinking her nightly visits to the graveyard to gather nettles were witchcraft. The day of the wedding arrived. Eliza had finished making 10 shirts. She just needed a little more time to finish the 11th. But time was not on her side. The archbishop accused her of being a witch and ordered her to be burned at the stake. As she was being led to the pyre, the 11 swans flew down from the sky. Without uttering a word, Eliza threw the shirts over her brothers, breaking the spell at once. They returned to their human form, and the youngest, who didn't get a full shirt, was left with a swan's wing instead of an arm. Just as the fire was about to be lit, Eliza's brothers stood in front of her, protecting their sister. Seeing this, the king demanded an explanation. Eliza, finally allowed to speak, shared their heartbreaking story. The king and the crowd, moved by her tale, proclaimed her innocence. Upon hearing Eliza's tale, the wicked queen was summoned. As she stood there, her cold eyes failed to show any remorse. The king, filled with righteous anger, commanded the guards to take her away, never to be seen in the kingdom again. Her magic, built on deceit and malice, was broken, and the castle once again breathed an air of happiness. With the queen's departure, Eliza was no longer a maid, but a princess, recognized and loved. The young king, his love for Eliza stronger than ever, stood by her side, holding her hand. Eliza's brothers, now freed from the swan's curse, surrounded them, their faces filled with gratitude and relief. And the youngest, though with a wing where an arm should have been, wore a brilliant smile, his transformation a testament to their sister's boundless love. The castle was filled with joyous cheers and laughter, the gloomy days of the wicked queen a distant memory. The king and Eliza wed in a beautiful ceremony under a sky filled with twinkling stars. The kingdom celebrated, the echoes of the happy festival carrying on the wind and whispering to the world the tale of a loving sister and her brave brothers. In the years that followed, Eliza ruled with kindness and grace. Her brothers took up roles in the kingdom, serving their people with dedication and honor. The youngest, despite his swan wing, was a constant reminder of the power of love and courage. And so, the kingdom once again was a place of joy and peace, the story of the Wild Swans, a tale told over and over, from one generation to the next. It was a story of bravery, of unwavering dedication, and a love that could break even the strongest curse. In the silence of the night, if you listened carefully, you could still hear the faint beating of swan wings, a gentle reminder of the journey of the brave princess and her 11 brothers. Their story, echoing through the halls of the castle, served as a lullaby for the children, filling their dreams with enchanting visions of wild swans flying across starlit skies. And if you ever find yourself walking through the castle's grand halls, remember this tale of Eliza and her brothers. Remember the power of love and the courage of a single voice that dared to fight against darkness. The tale of the Wild Swans is not just a story, it's a lesson, a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the face of despair, love and courage can make miracles happen. And with this, dear listener, our story ends, but remember, as you drift into dreams, think of the wild swans and the love that brought them home. In every beat of your heart, in every whisper of the wind, let their story live on, a gentle reminder of the love and courage that exists in each one of us.